All right, just got off the computer with you guys, and it's April 2nd. Started ripping down a little bit more of the siding. The window literally just slid right out. Yeah, a lot of cleanup to do. I'm actually going to save the old boxes from the new siding and kind of, organize this, bend it up, slide it in there, but it is coming along. See you soon. Okay, trying to block the sun here, and I cut one of the big siding boxes in half. I really need to find something to do with all this scrap. Can't just leave it, especially on the lawn. If it rains or something, or it's just a big mess. Don't want to step on all that, so I just kind of rigged half of it. I guess I could have used cardboard and tape, but and the reason for these pieces is just use some 2-inch drywall screws. Really nothing needed for weather or superstructure, but I just didn't want to put the screws into a hunk of wood through the cardboard. I needed this extra piece of a furring strip to screw into, kind of sandwich that cardboard so it doesn't rip out. So now it's pretty sturdy, and I'm going to use that as my scrap box. All right, got all the siding off. It is 11:06, my prep period now, and I am going to prep the siding trim. Hopefully get this YouTube video going. Sorry about the sun and the bounciness, but I'm going to actually chop one of those accent pieces off, probably the second one, so it doesn't have a weird angle, and yeah, see if, because it is a little raised up. And I'm going to have to put a different piece of trim here, because this siding and that siding is not going to be flush. And I don't want to build all this up, even just on the front, or else I'm not going to have any space for the fascia flashing. And if I build that up, then it's going to ruin the line of the roof, so just got to work around it. Guess what? Yeah, even looking from the inside, I was hoping that was a double thickness board. No, that's it's not structural, but that accent board builds it up enough where, yeah, it sticks out. And I'm not going to cut all those off. I will make it look pretty, but that board's going to go back on, fire a couple screws in there, get back to it. Alright, this is pretty exciting. I got start of the actual siding. It did take me a bit to get to this point. Kind of jumped around a little bit, but I had to cut the power to the garage, and the only reason why the radio is on is because I have some power going to the house. But had to cut that power so I can put a new exterior access box to the garage. The other one I actually cut off already, threw out. It was getting pretty darn ratty and rusty. I was even considering digging down, replacing that conduit to the next fitting, but it seems like it's in pretty good shape. Digging down, and so this one's loose right now, the corner post, but I had to cut, if you remember that little light that was right there, I had to cut just a teeny tiny bit of piece of J-channel that I'm still, we'll see, toying around with the idea of just running some new pieces, starting there and running this way, just to stop, just some unvented soffit. But this is going to slide right underneath the soffit, and I'm going to nail just right in the bevels, because that's actually where I'm going to be building up. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to have to build this up a little bit with the 1/4 inch, but that's going to be like perfect right at the edge, so I don't have to worry about the fascia interfering. So I want to get at least this post on. The post down there, not too concerned about the window. I'll probably just screw a board and then run one piece of siding, starting actually on that end, working this way. And the reason for that is when you view siding, it's going to have to be seamed. And if I start there and work this way across the house, then the seam, it'll look like it's actually one big long piece. I mean, you'll still be able to see the seam, but it'll look better than having to stare at starting here, working that way, and then seam it and going that way, and then you can see the real hard edges of the siding. So it's an aesthetic thing. So it's all dependent on the most view of the house, or in this case, the garage. So yeah, pretty excited with the way it's going, but definitely want to get that one piece on. So I'm going to have to start ripping down strips, getting those things on. A little bit of prep time. All right, started putting the strips up. Now, the reason for the strips is to kind of simulate a flat wall. If we were to put just the vinyl siding up against the wood beveled siding, then we're not sure where the next nail line is going to fall. At least this gives us a chance to kind of, if it falls right in this kind of hollow area, that we can lightly tap the nail in so it's even with our simulated wall. I mean, just think about if you were to cover the whole wall with new plywood. You could do that, absolutely. Everything would be perfectly flat. But really, just where you're going to nail, where the studs are, you don't want to not nail where the studs are, and I can tell where the previous siding was nailed, and they even have some lines thrown down in some of the areas also. So right now they're just kind of hanging loose. I really don't need to load these up every single piece of siding, okay? Because if I just put one and then maybe two in the middle and one more in the bottom just to keep it stable, you have to remember that the siding that's going to be going on, that's going to have a nail in every single one of these. Now this, because I still have to run back to the store and reframe this area out. Remember, I'm just taking the window out, prying eyes, but I'm going to keep these loose. I'm still going to be able to nail that bottom piece of siding in, but I'm going to keep this loose so I can get my new framing in there, and then I'll throw that on there. So it's coming along great. I got the corner post on, and it's looking good. So I got my strip here. Now, one thing about vinyl siding also, because of expansion and contraction, you do not want to nail the nails tight. You want a little bit of movement. So if the sun hits this and it moves, now you should be able to, once all the siding is on, you should be able to move a whole piece of siding side to side. You don't want to cut it super tight into the channels. So everything that I nailed, it's in there, but it's, you know, the nail's not coming out. Okay. So all the siding is going to be covering up all that strip. It's going to look, it's again like $1,000,000. After I get that last piece of siding on, then I'm going to get this electrical axis done and probably call it a day. Okay, so I wanted to show you this metal strip, the steel strip on the bottom. That's a vinyl siding starter strip there. When you put that on, the backside of the siding is going to lock into that channel, hiding all the nails, and that's how that first piece doesn't go flopping around. Now mine looks a little bowy. I just kind of temp nailed it there and there because I only have two hands, but I'm going to lightly nail where there is every single stud, and from there it should be able to move side by side all by itself. Now I'm going to work from that end. Once again, I'm starting from that end because when I look here, the seams are going to not disappear, but they're going to be less noticeable. So once again, a little wavy just because I don't have it nailed in yet. It's just temp nailed. But man, yeah, this is coming along great. I'll get that one in, get the electrical, call it a day. Okay, just to measure this one, just kind of lightly locked it in, and just marked a little line right where the channel is almost going to terminate. So you have about 3/4 of an inch inside of here to kind of play with. So now this is what I'm talking about with the seam. So the seam is right, you can really see it. Well, once I go this way, be able to see the seam a little bit greater. Sorry for the sunlight. So that white line there, staring from this side, you can see it a little bit more prominent. When you look at this side, it's a little less noticeable. It kind of fades in. So it's a preference, but it looks like now $1,001,001. Okay, so here's my cut off a real long piece. I was getting no tape measure, just putting a big piece up to the corner, marking where the inside of the channel is going to fall. Now I just used a carpenter square to square out a line with a Sharpie, and then I used my big snips called Excalibur. Just snip it like off, or right off like the scissors. Now this piece has the seaming edge, the edge that's going to butt up to the other edge. This edge does not have the seaming edge, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this piece up, and it's going to go all the way over here for the starting piece. Now, if you've ever done any flooring, excuse the camera work, I'm trying to feel it with one hand here. That's kind of how you do it. You don't have any waste then until the very end. So that one snaps in to the channel in the previous one, and now we have that seaming edge ready to go. Now if it becomes an issue where this is not being supported, I'm going to put just another little shim right by that corner. So far the other one was, kind of close to the end. I'll see what it looks like. This one, however, being in the middle, might need a little extra support. But that's the nature of the siding game when you're re-siding instead of just doing fresh construction.